I'm ready.
I'm good.
All right, we're going to be solving two variable systems using substitution today. We're also going to be doing elimination, and on a test and a quiz, if I tell you to use substitution, you have to use substitution, and then vice versa. If I tell you to use elimination, you have to use elimination. So today we're just doing substitution. We will be getting into 3 variable, so if you really struggle with the 2 variable stuff, you might want to come in for some tutoring because 3 variable is just going to be like really hard if 2 variable is hard for you. Okay, I broke it down in steps here. So step 1 says choose one of your equations that you can easily isolate one variable. Keyword here, easily. So you're going to want to be picking the variable that does not have a number in front. So we're going to be picking the second equation, and are we solving for x or y?
Y.
Very good. All right. Since I'm solving for y, I'm not going to move the y. I'm moving the x. So whichever variable you're solving for, don't move that one. So I'm going to move the x, minus 2x, minus 2x, negative 2x plus 7. Okay, y is not solved for yet. How do you get rid of the negative sign? Divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. So now y is equal to 2x minus 7. All right, so that was the first step. For the second step, we are going to substitute the expression from step 1 into the other equation. So I'm going to substitute 2x minus 7 into the other equation. And are you plugging it in for x or y?
Y.
Very good, because y equals this. So my other equation is 4x plus 3y equals 4. And I'm going to substitute in 2x minus 7 for y. So 4x plus 3. In place of the y, 2x minus 7.
When we get into 3 variables, how will we know which one to put it into?
This equals y, so we're going to put it in for the y. Is that what you mean?
Well, no, I said when we get into 3 variables.
Oh, you'll see when we get there.
You can put it into either one, right? What is this called
Kind of.
again?
This substitution,
Substitution.
solving a system of equations. Specifically, if you look at the solving 2 variable systems using substitution. Yeah. Okay. All right, so the purpose of substituting in is, so now my equation has 1 variable. I just have x. And so now that I just have x, I can solve. So I'm going to distribute the 3. So 6x minus 21 equals 4. Combine my like terms. 10x minus 21 equals 4.
Wait, what did the 4?
What?
Did you add someone?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was asking her. Okay. Okay, because I accidentally put 2 instead of 4.
All right, so we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Add 21. So 10x equals 25. Then what? Divide by 10. All right, so x equals, that reduces to 2.5 or 5 over 2.
Which one would you rather prefer?
I prefer fractions. All right, so that's like the most mathy part. Step 2, where you substitute it and solve. All right, step 3. It says substitute your solution into the expression from step 1. You can actually substitute x in wherever you want and you'll still get the answer, but the easiest thing to do is to substitute it into the expression from step 1. All right, so my expression was y equals 2x minus 7. And what am I subbing in for x? 5 5 over 2. Okay. What is 2 times 5?
10.
Divided by 2? 5. Another way to think about it, 2 on top and 2 on bottom. These 2's right here are going to cancel. Right. Five minus 7. And what is 5 minus 7? Negative 2. All right. I do want you to write your answers as coordinate points because remember what you are finding is the point of intersection, the point where the 2 lines cross. So write it as a coordinate point, x comma y. Okay, and for step 4 is kind of optional. You don't have to do it. Might be a good idea, especially on a test or a quiz, to check your answers. And so I have my x, I have my y. I can take either one of these original equations. I'm going to take the bottom one. And if I plug x and y in, it should work. So what would I be plugging in for x? 5 over 2. And what would I plug in for y?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. Same thing here. 2 on top, 2 on bottom. Cancel. So you're just left with a 5. Negative times a negative is a positive. And indeed, we get 7 equals 7.
Yeah, it's right.
Say it again. Second period today. All right, flip it over on the back.
Wait, progress reports?
Yeah, second period they gave out progress reports.
Baki.
That's on record.
All right. Number 2, we're going to kind of do this individually and as a class. I know it's going to be hard for you, but try not to jump ahead of the steps. It makes it easier. We're going to do the first step, and I'm going to walk around and check and make sure everybody can do the first step. And then we're going to do the second step, and I'm going to walk around and check and make sure everybody can do it. If you notice the person next to you is struggling and you know how to do it, just lean over and help them. There's like 25 of you and 1 of me, so it does help if you kind of help each other as well. So we are going to do the first step. The first step is to solve for a variable. Now, I think this is probably where people are just getting really confused because they're like, I don't know what variable to solve for. It really doesn't matter, but there's an easy way to do it. All right, if you try to solve for like the y in this one, you're going to end up with fractions. It's going to make it really messy. It still would mathematically work, but it's just going to be really messy. So that's why you're looking for the variable that doesn't have any number with it. So which variable here does not have any number?
X.
X. So that's what we want to solve for. So take a second and solve for the x, and I will be walking around and checking, make sure that you did it
Look
right.
how big this pair was and look what it is like now.
And then after you do that,
Here's my favorite
just
food.
stop and wait. All right, after you solve for the x, just hang out and wait. I mean, if you want to do it that way, you can. You're going to have a lot more fractions. It's going to be a lot harder. But,
Okay, you're killing me.
what did you get? You did all okay, so we're solving for x. So don't move the x. Move the
We're doing the section.
I'm a happy child.
No, I'm a happy child.
Don't move the x.
Solving
Yeah.
for the y instead of the x. Because
Did you get it? Good. Make sure you can actually help. Huh?
I'm gonna do this.
I don't know.
Wait, no, don't look at this. What are you looking at?
Oh yeah, I was looking at that.
I really started solving for the
It still should end up working out. It'll just be harder.
She didn't tell me if I was correct or not.
Yeah, that's right.
She cheating.
Okay, don't divide by a negative because x doesn't have a negative. All right.
this is
If I were you, I would solve for x, so you don't have fractions. Oh, yeah. I don't know where you went wrong here, but that's right.
Dude, I gotta hear this.
Okay, so
Poor kids, they had to wait for all that.
when you are solving for x, focus back up here. When you're solving for x, you want to get rid of the y. So don't get rid of the x because that's what you want to leave alone. And so you can move the 2y. So minus 2y on both sides, and I get x equals 3 minus 2y. All right, for the next step, we're going to take x equals 3 minus 2y, and we are going to substitute it into the x of the other equation. All right, so take a second to do that. I just flip mine around. It doesn't matter.
So I could put negative 2y plus 3?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Negative 2y plus 3 is also fine. It doesn't matter which way you write it. Sorry.
Ay, mi amor. You just changed. Okay, I was
Yes.
like,
Once you plug it in, go ahead and solve it.
we're going for y?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I got it. And I solved for y instead of
Gosh darn it, Savior. Looking smart. Oh, I just broke my
x.
Did you see what I tried to do?
Number 3 and
Woo!
and number 3 for x.
Look what happened to my hair.
Jesus.
What's your look what
Alright,
Anybody?
teacher.
Why are you looking at it like that? Angie, the TFCC thing is on October 25th. It's tomorrow. It's Thursday.
Told you it was Thursday.
I thought it was Friday.
I told you it was Thursday. You were screaming at me.
Because someone told me it was on the 26th.
Wait a minute here. Wait.
What did you do here?
So then minus 12.
We're coming back at 2 o'clock. Caitlin, you have to listen to me.
Oh, I do work.
Every
I
girl.
thought
Everything is good except the lost your negatives on here. That's it.
CIS and project. It's the only thing
Divided by
technology.
negative 10, which is positive 1/2.
Got it.
Miss, I'm getting confused. Alright, I'm gonna go over it right now. Yes. Alright, focus back up here. And if you got it, that's great, but just watch. And if you are kind of close, watch and see if you can figure out where you messed up.
Did you get 19 over 8 for y?
No. Alright. Oh, Angie, 7 minus 12 is negative 5.
Oh, that's why.
Oh. Not sure.
Alright, shh. Focus up here, focus up here. Shh. Alright, 4 times, in place of x, I'm going to put 3 minus 2y minus 2y equals 7. So don't forget that the other 2y there. Distribute your 4. 12 minus 8y minus 2y equals 7. Combine like terms. 12 minus 10y equals 7. And now I need to solve for y. So I'm going to get rid of the 12. Negative 10y equals negative 5. Divide by negative 10. Divide by negative 10.
And then it's a positive.
And so then y is a positive 1/2.
Oh no.
Alright, now for the last step, take the 1/2, plug it back in to the expression that is bubbled, and write your answer as a coordinate point.
What if I put negative 1/2 and it still like works?
It shouldn't.
Why it was 1/2? You see, I got it. I got it.
X?
I just put 8 for
4?
Okay, yeah, that's what I got.
And it still
You
works.
gotta check it in the other equation.
I forgot to
You're gonna check it in both equations? I swear, if this works, you gotta listen to the song, Kayla.
X equals 2. Yeah. Alright, does anybody need help on that part over here? Yeah.
Negative 1/4?
It still works, Miss.
Right?
Why?
I'll look at it here in a second. X. Anybody else over here?
No, it doesn't work.
I got it!
I don't want to agree. Because that's so sweet.
So is my X wrong?
Yeah. Alright, look up here. Look up here, look up here, look up here. Ready? Okay. When you take y and you plug it back in to this equation here, x is going to equal 3 minus 2. And then I'm going to put 1/2 in for x. Alright, 2 on top, 2 on bottom are going to cancel. Another way to think about it, 2 times 1/2 is 1. So 3 minus 1, which is 2. And so now you have your x and your y, but remember I want these as coordinate points. So your final answer is 2, 1/2.